Well, any minute now, Alex Murdaugh could be sentenced in the death of his wife and 22-year-old son. He faces 30 years to life after he was found guilty on all 4 charges. Guilty for the murder of his wife, Maggie, guilty for the murder of his son, Paul, and guilty for possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. He was found guilty of those 2 charges twice. We want to continue to discuss the case with Cornell law professor and criminal defense attorney Randy Zelin. Randy, as a criminal defense lawyer and law professor, in terms of the defense, do they have a leg to stand on when it comes to filing an appeal?
The determining factor here is the fact that Mr. Murdaugh testified. Had he remained silent, then there would have been, I think, a number of viable appellate issues. There was all of the other bad act evidence that came in. Certainly, that was going to have a huge impact because we want to convict someone based upon what they did in this particular instance. The fact that they may have done other things should not be determinative of guilt. We don't convict someone by a propensity. However, when we talk about error, when the defendant takes the stand, that oftentimes deflates a lot of the appellate arguments because now there's no longer any or far less of a probability of error. So the fact that Mr. Murdaugh took the stand, and certainly to the extent that the jury found him to be a liar, and I would imagine the judge will find him to be a liar, when it gets up to the higher court is going to look at it and say, hey, listen, pal, you tanked yourself. I mean, they won't say it like that, but that is the practical effect. His testimony, in my opinion, negates the viability of an appeal.
So, and thank you for your candor. I love it. Straight talk from Randy Zelin. But I think, there's this interesting New York Times op-ed that says there's a problem, this quick conviction. I mean, they had 70 witnesses. They had so much evidence. A lot of times we heard from experts who said this is going to confuse the jury. It's going to muddy the waters in coming up with a solid conviction in this case. So even with what you're saying, which is very legitimate, do you believe that the defense could actually point to the time that the jurors came to this quick conclusion, this lightning fast response, after so many weeks of emotional testimony, having to go out to the property, et cetera, et cetera?
No, and we can look at it from a practical perspective, and we often see, like on Law and Order, 10 seconds seems awfully fast, but imagine if I sat here during your show in silence for 10 seconds. It would be an eternity.
That's true.
When you think about 3 hours, if we sat here for 3 hours talking about this case, do you think that we might be able to come to a reasoned determination in terms of an opinion on guilt or the lack of guilt? The speed of the verdict is absolutely meaningless. The only thing that will matter from an appellate standpoint is whether or not, from the jury's view, did the defendant get a fair and impartial jury? Did the jury act fairly and impartially, considering only the evidence? And I think the judge answered the question for all of us. The judge called the evidence overwhelming. Now, what I love about your mention of the op-ed piece is it's 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, children, be careful what we wish for. Technology. All of the technology that we use to make our lives more convenient and more comfortable, it was that technology that convicted Alex Murdaugh.
You're absolutely right. And one of the jurors speaking out saying that exact thing, that the video that they had with his voice on it, the fact that he admitted on the stand that he was indeed there minutes before it is believed that the 2, Maggie and Paul, were murdered, was certainly damning. Thank you, Randy Zelin. Again, straight talk. I like it. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.